So welcome to today's class. Hopefully you guys got to practice, whether it's on your friends, family, each other. You got to check out everyone else's chakras. Any questions before we start? Okay, so today let's start with the beginning of the process to scanning the chakras. Okay, we're just scanning other people's chakras. Okay, so I'm gonna, oh, here's Shelly. What we're gonna do is whoever would like to be a healer, you could volunteer as a healer, and whoever would like to, hold on one second. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna pick one healer. Okay, so who would like to be a healer? Okay, great. So Daniel, you'll be a healer. You're gonna go through, so you've already cleared the space.
Yes.
Spoke a prayer. You know, first you're gonna ask your client what is going on, so you know, and you can kind of intuitively kind of already scan the chakras. Like when they tell you stuff, you're already going, oh, I can, you know, sense it here. This might be off. This might be off. This might be off. So, and then you're going to use your pendulum to see which chakras are unbalanced. You can write them down, you know, clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever. Or if it's going sideways, or if there's no movement at all. So, you know, you can do that. You'll scan the hara line, okay? So you're gonna go through and do that. And then if you get any messages, okay, we'll get to that part, but let's go ahead and just do that really quick. And then I'm gonna show you how you're gonna be scanning for messages with your hands. So we're kind of doing quite a bit today. So
yeah, look forward to it.
I want to practice now with you guys. You're going to be learning and practicing at the same time. Okay. So who wants to receive? Who wants to be on the receiving end? Linda? Okay, great. So I'm going to have you guys take over.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
And we're just going to watch. Okay. And there's no right or wrong. There's just, you're just going through the process because now Linda, to you for a healing.
Okay. All right, Linda, let me know some of the things that are going on that you would like to have addressed today.
Actually, I'm not really certain, but I know I am looking for sort of another job and somewhere to live. So there's probably something. I know the few times people have done a scan, my sacral is going sideways. So I don't know whether that's got anything to do with it, but.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so I'll go ahead and invoke in our guides and get the process started. All right, I would like to invite my guide team and Linda and her guide team to be here with us today. I ask that we release any fear, doubts, resistance, ego, and expectations. I ask our guide teams to provide clear and accurate information for the highest good of Linda. I set the intention, the unbending intention, to send healing to whatever area Linda needs it most in regards to moving and the other information she mentioned. And so it is. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and ground myself and then I will scan your heart line and your chakras.
Perfect. And so Linda, are you able to stand up as well?
No, I've got my nightie on.
Oh,
I'd rather not.
Okay, yeah.
I've just got out of bed.
Okay. We should have a pajama party next time. All right, so we're gonna pretend Linda's standing, okay?
Okay. All right.
But mainly you want to be the one standing.
Yep. All right. So I will scan your hover line first, Linda. So I will ask for, show me Linda's navel. Show me Linda's thymus. Show me Linda's crown. Okay. Thymus side to side. I mean, navel side to side, thymus and crown clockwise. Now we'll move on to the chakras. Show me Linda's root chakra. Linda's sacral chakra. Linda's solar plexus. Linda's heart. Show me Linda's throat chakra. Show me Linda's brow chakra. Show me Linda's crown chakra. All right, so the root and the sacral were counterclockwise, and the solar plexus and heart were clockwise. The throat and brow were side to side, and crown was clockwise.
Okay. So the reason I'm smiling is because I could see that her first and second were off. And the reason, one of the reasons, was she said job and somewhere to live, right? That shows instability, uncertainty, unsafety, insecurity, okay? Whether it's on a conscious or subconscious level. And that affects your first and second chakras, okay? Now, the fifth and sixth went side to side because there's a change happening. The sixth makes sense because the sixth is right here, and she's going through some shifts in her intuition, in what she's seeing, what's coming through to her now. All of her clairs opening up, different things. So there's a change, right? There's a shift. The fifth, maybe there's opportunities and she's maybe not speaking up about them and she's maybe resistant. You know, I don't know. We'll ask her. You know, is there anything going on in your throat, or is there anything going on in this area where you feel constricted?
Are you asking me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Linda.
Yeah, sorry. When I see the screen, you're sort of looking opposite to me, so I'm never certain if you're speaking to me. But yes, oh, probably. Yeah, I've no idea at the moment. I'm going for a job interview today, so maybe that's it.
Okay. So it kind of, you know, it makes sense, right? Like all of these that he found to go counterclockwise or side to side, it makes sense. So thank you, Linda. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
So that's all it is right now. That's all we're doing, right? But let's say that if I was working with Linda now, okay, I would work on those areas and work on those specific areas to help her increase her confidence. And the body might take me to even the third chakra, even though it wasn't out of balance. But it might later on, because sometimes when there's imbalances in one chakra, it might throw another chakra off. Okay, so so when we go through this, what you're going to do next, okay, is you're going to put your pendulum down and you're going to feel what the chakra feels like, that imbalanced chakra. Where do you feel the most energy? Right? So Linda, do you mind if everybody does that? Like just feels your chakras? We're not healing you, we're just scanning you, okay? All right, so what you wanna do at this point, if you are the healer, right, and you're standing because you brought her energy to you, so it doesn't really matter if she's sitting down, right? So if I'm standing, and you guys could hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm standing, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my my right hand, right? Because this is my antenna. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna stand on this way. So I'm gonna use my antenna, whether it's right hand or left hand, but right now I'm just gonna use the right. And I'm just gonna scan her chakras, just like this, okay? As if she's standing in front of me. I just wanna scan it. Just to see what I feel. What kind of energy do I feel in my hands? I want you guys to feel that. In whichever hand that you feel the strongest energy in, you can use that hand. So if you can stand up to scan Linda, great. So if you could do that, just put one hand up because that's your antenna, okay? And you're gonna imagine her root chakra. And you're just gonna feel into the root right now. What does that feel like? Anyone want to share? What are you sensing? What are you feeling?
I'm getting a little bit of a prickly sensation in my palm.
Yeah.
My palm chakra.
Yep.
That's exactly what I feel. Yeah, it's
Does it feel very strong or mild? Or
it's pretty strong. It's really strong compared to what I would normally feel.
okay. What about you, Radhika?
I feel some energy, but I don't know. I have to say it's strong or not.
So, Radhika, do me a favor.
I've never done this before, so I have nothing to compare with.
That's okay. Nobody has. I mean, a lot of people haven't in this group, and that's okay. So what I want you to do is you need to, so you want to imagine them right in front of you, okay, Radhika, like right here. And you're standing on their side. So they're right here on your side. So pick a side that she's on. And then you turn your body as if she's right there. And then her chakra should be right here because she's standing right here, right?
Okay.
So allow that antenna and then just feel into the first chakra. You might feel some prickliness, you might feel some heat. Everybody feels something different. So don't worry about what others are feeling. I want you to tap into what you're feeling. No, stay standing up, Radhika.
Okay.
I'm just sitting because I want you guys to hear me and see me.
Okay.
Okay? Gina, what are you sensing, honey? And you guys could unmute yourselves right now. Unless you have background noise.
I have it, for me, it's just the slight tingling and warmth.
Okay. Linda, Louise?
I'm not feeling that. It just kind of feels a bit like a resistance, but
Okay.
nothing tingly. Just a bit of
Well, that's
like
interesting. Step on.
I'm pushing
Right.
onto
No.
it. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
You see, you all are feeling something different. You're getting something different. That's almost, Linda, Louise, you pretty much got a message. There's a resistance to something. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So that's great. Let's see. Anybody else want to share?
My sensation is changing. It's now I'm feeling a bit of a pulsing.
Yes. And it'll shift because your hand is still there. So you're just going to feel that. So let's move to the second chakra. We don't want to blast her.
Yeah.
All right. And Linda, at any point in time, if you get uncomfortable, just let us know, okay?
Everything's good.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's good. I just have to move. So I'm going to have to get up and go into the next room. So hope that doesn't disturb everyone.
No, we'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, so you can move to the second chakra.
Do we keep do we keep our hands up all the time?
Right now, yes. If you get tired, put it down and then put it back up.
Okay.
So just because that's your antenna, it's not going to go this slow. So what I want you to do is just like the first, I want you to do the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. I just want you to feel into the chakras. So go ahead and notice the difference in what you feel. Okay, I'm going to let you do that on your own right now. So just go through each chakra and feel it. Just feel the difference. So going to the second, notice what you feel. I'll guide you. Notice if it's different from the first. Okay, let's go to the third. Because if you stay there too long, what you're going to do is second guess yourself. Notice what the third feels like. That's the solar plexus. And maybe you do feel some energy there. Maybe you don't. Go to the fourth, the heart. The fifth, the neck. The sixth, the pineal gland. The seventh, which is the crown. Okay, now put your hands down. I'm going to give you a moment just to relax, shake out those hands. All right, so let's just quickly go over what you felt in the chakras, and then we'll go in the hara line, and you can feel what you feel in the hara line, okay? Linda Louise, there's a lot of noise coming from your end, like paper rattling.
Which Linda?
You, my dear.
Oh, it might be my headphones in the socket. Hold on. Yeah.
Got it. All right. I'm going to put you on
put the other one in. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put you on mute in the meantime. So, all right, Radhika, you could sit down now, honey. And Daniel, go ahead and sit down. We're just going to talk really quick about the chakras. Okay, so what did you guys feel in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh? Anyone want to share? Did it feel different is what I want to find out.
Okay. Yeah, so with the second, the energy I felt was kind of like a barrier. It felt like it had like a, it seems like I could kind of feel how like far out it went. And then The solar plexus, I felt a little bit of energy there. The heart, I didn't feel a whole lot going on there. Then the throat, I felt the most energy in my hands at the throat chakra. That felt pretty powerful there. There's a lot of congestion there. And then a little tingling in my hand at the brow, and then the crown felt good.
Okay. So that basically went with what your chakra reading was with the pendulum, right? And what you're going to eventually learn to do is checking with your hand. And if you have your pendulum, you can use your pendulum. So what I'm teaching you is how you could check with your hands and with the pendulum. And then the third way of learning is just intuitively, just asking. Okay. And so you'll get to that.
Okay.
But I want you to practice this, we're taking it step by step, right? Mm-hmm. We're getting our intuition, that muscle just flowing and saying, hey, give me this information. So you guys are getting really, really good information here. All right. So barrier, you said barrier.
That's the word that came to mind when I felt that energy, right?
Yeah. So pick up on the words that come to you, because when you're at certain chakras, you might sense these kind of words coming through. That's information coming to you. That is what you've been asking for. Like how, what can I receive? If you're looking for something, if you want to see something, hear something. Well, Daniel got barrier. That's what he heard or saw. Which Claire was it?
It was
Spirit or
I would say heard.
Heard. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you always able to hear, or is this something new for you?
No, that's just started with this program.
Okay. So let's tap into our own gifts, right? As we are working with people, don't be nervous. Just this is your time to work with your gifts, right? It's not like we're trying to have you guys compete against each other. We're not doing that. And who could do better, who could sense better. It's not about that. It's about tuning into your gifts and refining them, making them sharper. And we can do that by doing exercises like this, right? So anyone else want to share? Like, I'm going to have one or two more people share, and then we'll move on to someone else so you guys could get some practice.
I picked up on the a different sensation in the solar plexus.
Okay.
So for me, that was the strongest sensation I got through my hand, and it felt like I was almost, there was like if I was trying to put my hand through sort of like a fog, or I sort of felt this sort of sensation through my hands on the solar plexus area. And so that was the strongest for me.
So what that says is maybe that's the power center, right? That confidence, that self-esteem, that area of empowerment. And so maybe you could tap into that a little bit more if you wanted to, and go back into a childhood, because maybe the first two chakras are off, but you're feeling it because it's so strong for you in the third chakra, because all that energy just resonates there. So maybe the body is telling you, okay, go here, and that will balance out the other two. Or it's saying, go here first and then go back to see if the other two are balanced. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So for you, the body might take you straight to the third chakra, not necessarily the first two. Okay. Right. So you're using your senses, right? You're using that, saying, okay, I'm guided to go here. So that's where I feel it the most. So I'm going to start there, and that's perfectly fine. So you can start your healing from there and then move wherever else the body might want you to go. Does that make sense, Gina?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay.
I do have another question. On the crown, do we place the hand like, or
just like that?
So straight.
Yep. You want to be like that, and you want to be like that. And you don't want to stay here, especially in the upper spiritual chakras, too long, because they'll get a headache. And you don't want to give them a headache, because that's a lot of close pressure, you know what I mean? Closing it. So you don't want to stay there too long, but for practice purposes, just keep your hand a little further and just feel into it quickly.
And then, okay. So it's not that way. That way. Okay. And second question, with Linda, was I supposed to visualize her there?
Yes.
Standing there?
Yes.
Got you.
Because you're bringing her energy to you. So basically you're bringing her body to you. Does that make sense? And you could imagine her as small as or as big as you want, but you know, it really helps to just imagine her standing right next to you when you're doing a remote healing. If she's there in front of you and she's laying on the table, or she's, you know, you're asking her to stand up, you're going to go through the chakras, but you're going to have her sit down when you get to the heart. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could check the chakras that way.
Great.
Does that make sense? And then if you know, then I would just, if she's right there in front of you and you're checking the chakras, I wouldn't have her stand up and sit back down or anything to check it with your hands. Do you see what I'm saying? I would pick one or the other. I wouldn't do both if they're right there in front of you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Okay. This is good if she's standing and she's right there in front of you, then you could check it all, you know. But if she's standing there in front of you, what you will do is check the chakras, have her sit down with the pendulum, and then go back with your hands and do whatever you need to do wherever the body's guiding you to go. So you wouldn't double check the chakras. You would do it while you're healing, basically, kind of, sort of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so this, we're just doing double, just so
Sorry. Do you still use the pendulum?
I don't, because I just know now.
Right.
Sometimes I will. Sometimes I will definitely use it. I don't use it as often as I would like to, maybe. But I just know it. Like, I just knew that Linda's first and second and sixth and seventh were off. Like, I just knew there was something going on with those, like, as soon as Daniel started, and then I was just waiting for him to confirm that. But I mean, I could be off, you know. Sometimes I have gotten it to where my intuition said this or this, but maybe because there's something going on in those areas that I'm not tapping into, you know, and the pendulum says something else that the pendulum is tapping into. But I know that during the healing, the body will guide me wherever I need to go. But this is where you're kind of like just starting, right? Where do I start? If you have any questions like, where do I go? Where do I start? The pendulum helps you, especially as a beginner, you know?
Right.
And just to make you feel more confident and validated.
Yeah,
you know?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Deepa?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I probably didn't feel as connected. I think what was coming through to me, although I did feel some resistance in sort of the crown.
Okay.
I think what was coming through for me a little bit was that maybe I needed to have tuned into her more, you know, have her guides, you know, and her presence. And I think part of me was thinking that I didn't have that. I didn't have that permission. So maybe I kind of wasn't tuning in as I was meant to be. That's what I was getting.
Okay, so she gave you her permission by telling us, because I already asked her, right? Like, can we do this? Can we all scan you, right?
Okay.
And she said yes.
Right.
So you already had her permission.
Okay.
What you were sensing is at the crown that maybe she was more in her logical brain versus the right brain, and maybe you felt like she was maybe blocking something,
Okay.
or maybe there was a divine connection block. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But you'll only know if you ask her. So you're more than welcome to ask her if you'd like. You know, maybe she's got something going on in the head, like headache, or, you know, whatever, what's going on around your head. You want to find out physically what is happening.
Yeah, I don't suffer with headaches.
Anything going on around your head at this time? Any thoughts? Too much thoughts? Brain
Yeah,
fog, anything?
I do think sometimes. Yeah, I do think. And I suppose I've been thinking lately. I'm always thinking, but I don't think that would, change my crown chakra. What I'm finding actually, Deepal, is whenever someone does, this keeps cutting out. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Louise, I'm going to mute you. There's so much noise, Linda Louise. I'm going to mute you, and then if you want to say something, just unmute yourself. Go ahead, Linda.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, whenever we do readings, because I was practicing with Shelley the other day, we both found the readings change, like, continually. So she did a reading on me, I did a reading on me, they were different. Then we did the same on her. So, what's that about? That was using the pendulum.
When you did the reading on yourself?
Well, I checked her chakras.
Oh, okay.
And I got a reading. And then, and she did the same. She checked mine and got a reading, and then I checked mine, and they were different.
Because you guys impacted each other. When you get a reading, you subconsciously impact your own chakras by getting them to spin right or the other way, get out of balance. So if you're doing it, if she's doing it on you,
You're doing it at the same time.
you're doing it. Oh, you're doing it at the same time. Okay. So
yeah, no, I said we weren't doing it at the same time.
No, I know you were doing it at different times. So what happens is that you will get different messages on yourself. You will change the spin because you consciously do it. Well, unconsciously do it. Because your body knows what's going on with you, right? So I'm not going to say that she was getting an incorrect reading or you were getting an incorrect reading. You were just getting different readings. And it could be that you may have impacted your own reading.
Yeah, it was also, but it's okay. That's it. I found hers quite good and she found hers quite erratic. But anyway, yeah.
And
that's okay.
Sometimes
I just find
people
it.
don't understand why there's a certain reading, a certain way, but it could be past energy or future energy. And a lot of times it's future energy that they don't realize what's coming. So if something is off, okay, if a reading, and I don't even know how you would tell that a reading is off because there's no, it can't be. Unless you have impacted your own reading by, I could take my pendulum and I can make it spin however I want. If I'm thinking a certain thing and I'm like, oh, I just really wanted to say yes, or I really wanted to do this, it will. So I can easily change my own readings when I'm checking my own chakra. And when somebody else is checking it and then you're checking it, that's probably not the best way to do it.
Well, we're doing it because we'd do one reading and it would say something. and then later might have done another reading on her and it said something different. So we'd
So then there's more energy stuck.
say, oh, we'll just check it and see what you're getting. So we would just...
That means there's something stuck somewhere else that we didn't tune into. And you didn't, see, you did a scan, but not a healing, right? You just scanned it. Because you were only supposed to scan, not a healing, right?
Yep.
So when you started doing the scanning, something else must have come into her mind subconsciously, or your mind, and shifted the other chakras. So it could be any one of those things. Does that make sense? So when you did the reading again, you're like, oh, well, I found this, this, and this to be off. Or this, this, and this to be balanced. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just probably feel a little bit not that confident in a pendulum reading. Yeah.
So how else can I explain this?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, because I want you to know, because the pendulum is an important tool. It really is, as well as you know, you feeling confident enough to use it. I don't recommend, you know, you can do your own scans and you can do everyone else's scans. Maybe even the other person can impact your scan. So maybe you might want to do it in private, or, you know, just do it on your own, just to see what's going on. But a thought or something came through, because I could see it right now. Something came through to impact the reading. So something got triggered and it was different. So that's what's coming through. Okay, did somebody else want to share? Linda went, Gina went. Anybody else want to share, or can we move on and somebody want to be a healer and somebody want to be a client?
I pretty much got what Daniel did. And I think he said barrier and I got wall. So it was pretty much the same for the second chakra. So everything felt pretty much the same as he was describing. It was pretty profound. It was really good. I like how you told us that. It was nice. Thank you.
Good. All right. So let's have one person be a healer and another person be a client. Who wants to go? Who wants to be the healer? All right, then I will have to pick. So going once, going twice. All right, I guess I get to pick. All right, let's have Gina. You be the healer. I'll guide you through it.
I knew you were going to pick me. I should have just said, I just knew you were.
And we're going to have, let's have Radhika be the student, the client. Do you have, I know Linda was looking for a job and, you know, somewhere to live. So she had those things. She didn't have a health issue. So we got to work on something very different. Okay. So you got to experience that. But what, who has a health issue? Radhika, do you have anything going on health-wise? Any discomfort or pain or anything?
Yeah, I have a constant back pain, but it's like normal for me, so.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, Gina, why don't you go through, you know, invoking a prayer, grounding, all that good stuff. And then you can, you know, she's got back pain, so let's check her chakras and then the hara line.
Okay, so I've cleared the space already.
Oh, that's
so now I just ground myself, yeah?
you're going to clear the space and then invoke a prayer and invite your guide team and invite Radhika.
Okay.
And then ground your energies.
And then ground. Okay.
Yep. So invoke a prayer, right? Inviting your guide team.
So I'd like to call forward and invite my guide team and Radhika's guide team to be with us here now, to release any doubt, ego, resistance, or fear, and to set an unbending intention to release any back pain in the body, and to let the light go wherever it may need to be.
Yep.
And release any issues that may be unseen, and so it is.
And then ground your energies, and you're just imagining your hara line and your chakras balanced and grounded so that you don't float away.
Okay.
And now just imagine her right next to you on the right or left, never in front of you. You never want to have somebody in front of you, because if they are a very fiery person, if they are, in Ayurvedic we call it pitta, if they are pitta energy, they will get aggravated with you in their face. So you never want to be in somebody's face checking their chakras like this, okay? You always want to be on the side.
Okay, so Radhika would be here?
Yep.
Okay. So Radhika's root chakra.
You want me to write them down?
Please.
Go ahead.
That was side to side. Radhika's sacral chakra. Bigger, bigger, clockwise. Thank you. Radhika's solar plexus. Bigger. Side to side. Radhika's heart. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Heart. Clockwise. Thank you. Radhika's throat. Clockwise. Thank you. Radhika's third eye. Side to side. Thank you. Radhika's crown chakra. Clockwise. Thank you.
Okay, now check her hara line.
Is that going with the 3, the navel?
Yep.
Yeah. Radhika's, checking Radhika's hara line, navel, clockwise. Thank you.
Thymus.
Thymus, clockwise. Thank you. Crown. Clockwise. Thank you.
Okay. So there's areas, mostly she's balanced and aligned. There are areas that went sideways, right? There was the first, the root. There is the third, which is the solar plexus, and the sixth, which is the pineal area. Okay, that went side to side. So there's some shifts happening within her. She said she has back pain, right? So what does this have to do with back pain? Well, the back is like your spine is your support center. It's connected to, gosh, all the channels, all the energy channels. It is your support to stand you up. It is what brings initial pain. Like when people start having pain or discomforts, it's always a lot of times starting in their back, you know? But it's because of what may be going on in her life. Radhika, what's going on in your life right now that you can share with us?
So today I had quite a tough day, so I'm feeling quite exhausted, and but you know, I'm trying to open my all clairs, and it stresses me a little bit. Like I feel I don't have it, you know, like I don't feel it, and maybe that's influences my chakras, maybe.
Yeah. That feeling of fear comes through very strong, right? Because the stress is coming through and it's putting stress on her back because she's like, she's doing this on her own, right? And so there's that feeling of, where could I find support? You know, how can I find support? How could I get the most support? That's a question. How long has the back pain been going on?
Yes, like since my 20s. So
Was there an accident or anything?
no,
Or started up one day?
it's like it started when I was growing up, and like I, you know, I feel everything in my shoulders, in my neck, and also lower back. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse, and I had to exercise because it helps me. And if I stop exercising, it's always getting worse. So it's like I don't know, like mostly here in this area.
Did you always have a lot of pressure on you as you were growing up?
Yeah, quite, yeah.
A lot of burdens? Did you take on a lot? Were you like the oldest child? Or the
No, I was the second child.
Okay.
But my parents was like, they were never satisfied with me. Like it could always be better. Yeah, like you should try more. You know, like I always had the feeling it's never enough.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
So you see how I got the information?
Yeah.
From the chakra.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, which is putting a lot of pressure on your back and especially your shoulders and your neck. And it's kind of like as if I see your spine like collapsed.
Okay.
You know, especially the lumbar area, the lower back. Okay. Now, so so that's how it is. That's how it's done. So you have to ask them questions. You don't always have to have all the answers. Do you see what I'm saying?
I wasn't quite sure what one, but I don't think it was the roots. It was either 2 or 3. I don't know whether you can. My pendulum, it sort of went.
Oh,
like
it was bouncing.
Yeah, it was sort of doing this sort of weird rippling thing. It was a sort of rippling. It wasn't, and I.
That means there's something stuck there. It needs to be cleared. It needs some healing there.
All right.
Yeah. It definitely needs some clearing.
Yeah.
So her Hara line is fine. So we're not gonna go through her Hara line, but if her Hara line was off, you know, we would go through the navel, the thymus, whichever one. Let's say the navel is off. That's the lower body, right? So it kind of explains, maybe she's compensating in her legs, you know, but just aligning that the Hara line is not as, you know, you don't have to read into the Hara line as much as you do the chakras, you know, at the end you can align the Hara line. So that's, you know, that's just getting their purpose, intentionality, and creativity back in order, in alignment. But you do that after you do the chakra healing. You do the healing, okay? And the reason you go back to childhood, one of the things that I found is that childhood experiences characterize who you become as an adult, and it characterizes your body, your personality, like everything about you, because it's a lot of experiences that you went through as a child. It's from in womb all the way up to the age of 14, you know, 14 years that has the biggest impact. Of course, there are times later in life that also have a lot of impact, but that's the main age where I see a lot of impact. And the dynamics of your childhood plays a huge role, right? The parents play a huge role. How you were made to feel as a child, it impacts on what you do in life and what you become and how you stand up and what diseases come through. So there's a lot of different things that play a role as a child that form you as an adult. And so if you can tap into that childhood, what happened to you as a child? Right? What happened? And if you could pick up on an age, I love to, for some reason, I get age very quickly. You know, what happened to you between 5 and 7? Or what happened to you at 5 years old? Something happened. And maybe the person remembers, maybe they don't remember, and that's okay. But whatever that energy is that you feel that's so strong in the solar plexus or in the crown or wherever, we need to help align it. We need to bring them back so that they can have less back pain, they could get a job, they could do whatever they need to do to function and manifest what they want to manifest, right? So, any questions?
I was cold just before I did the, you know, did the work. Then when I stood up and I was doing it, I was really, really hot. And is that because I hadn't grounded myself properly, or?
No, it's normal.
Oh, right.
Because when you invite their guide team and your guide team, the room gets full.
Okay. I can feel this heat, just sort of like.
Oh yeah, rushing through you. So that's your own energies too that come through you as well. So
Right.
It's normal.
Okay.
Very normal. Okay.
So can I ask you, Deepa? So if I align my chakras, it's not enough because there is something in the past what should be clear.
So basically what we would do now, Radhika, to align you, right, to help you, we would basically now go dive deeper and start asking the body questions. Where do you need me to go? where should I go first? Where do you want me to go? We know what's out of alignment. Okay, put that aside now. Just for a moment, you told us your story. We know everything that's going on now. We know why there's back pain. Okay, it feels, like I said, it feels compressed. So how can we decompress that spine so that you could be taller, right? And you could stand in your power and you can feel supported and feel less stressed, right? So what we're gonna do then is we can start, you know, right from the bottom, that first chakra, and just work our way up, see where the body stops us. So maybe my hand stops at the heart because I can feel that you're holding on to a lot of tension in your heart, is what I sense. Even though the chakra was not off, but my hand took me straight to that area, that you're putting a lot of stress on your heart. Okay, and maybe you're having a little bit of achiness or heartache or grief or emotions coming up that you're not able to express. Okay, is that so? Do you resonate with some of this information? And maybe you don't, it's okay.
It could be some like old grief.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Whatever it is, I'm getting that. So somebody else might get something different. But that's where I'm guided to start. Now, Linda and Linda Louise and Shelley and Gina and Brian and Daniel and Angela might be guided to go somewhere else. Let's have each of you, okay? I want you to start from the first chakra and see where the hand stops. Where does the body take you? In the front or the back, where does the body take you? So just stand up and just see, have Radhika right in front of you. Invite her to you. And see, this is how you could be in multiple places at one time, Radhika. Now you know how God does it. So stand and just start at the first chakra and just work your way up, guys. Just see where your hand stops and see where you need to start the healing or what messages you get at this point.
I stopped at the solar plexus.
Okay, wonderful. And see what messages you get, Daniel.
Yeah, I was given lack of empowerment.
Okay. Anybody else?
Her basic, her root chakra, my hand almost went like completely through it, like no support, like she needed that, like she needed a lot of energy there. My hand almost went completely through there, like it was like nothing.
So that pretty much says what, Angela? Like if your hand goes through something, what does that mean? That matter is what, invisible maybe?
Yeah, I mean that's I've just never felt that before. That was very significant to me.
Do you feel invisible, Radhika, or have you felt invisible in your life?
Yeah, that's quite, yeah, that's true.
Okay. So anybody else want to share where to go? Where you're guided, where your hand guides you to start first?
On the heart, I felt like I was being, my hand felt like it was being pulled in.
Okay.
On the heart.
Okay.
And then on the throat, it felt solid, blocked. Great.
All right, so I want you guys to remember where you're feeling these things. You could put your hands down, but I'm going to tell you what to do next. Linda Louise, I can't unmute you, but maybe you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, it was mostly the root.
The root, okay, all right. Did you feel, what else, what do you feel at the root? What message did you get?
It's just that the lack of support, being unsupported,
Okay.
coming crashing down to the root. Yeah.
Did you see anything? Did anybody see anything?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And the other place I felt a lot was when I got to the heart wall. It just felt like this huge wall, kind of like if you like were to go to a castle and you see like that big wall, you know, like you're getting ready to go to battle and there's like this big wall and you have to climb it. That's kind of like the visual that I got. It's like, no, you're not going there. And that's just kind of what I felt.
Do you feel that way, Radhika?
Like I must climb the stairs?
Like you're climbing the stairs and you're hitting a wall, like every time you go, like try to achieve something or accomplish something,
Yeah,
you're like hitting a wall, you know, and you're trying to get through it, trying to get through it, and you're pushing your way rather than enjoying the way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So now you're gonna, is it okay if they do a healing in these areas that they found?
Yeah.
Okay, so each one of you found a different area. So now what you're going to do is you're actually going to send light to that area. You're going to send healing, right? So when you do that, your hand is up and you're actually moving energy out however you need to. Sometimes you'll feel like you need to pull it out. Sometimes you can pull it, you can actually just pull it out, whatever it is, grab it and give it to you, to the guides. Okay, because you know there's energy that needs to be released. You just need to get your hand on it to clear it and pull it out and give it to the guides. Okay, and maybe you need to talk to the body to convince the body that it's okay, it's safe. So talk to the body, see what other messages you might get in the areas that you found. Okay, and it's okay if you're working on the same area. But remember, there's a front and the back, so you might need to clear it from the front and the back. Okay, if it's just the front, that's fine. So go ahead and do that. And then we'll see how Radhika's back pain is. Do you have any back pain right now, Radhika?
Yeah, here on like the neck.
Okay.
And, yeah, and the shoulder bladder. Yeah.
Deepa, do I put my hand up again?
You can, or you don't have to. Just go ahead and see what you're guided to do.
Okay.
Okay. You don't have to put your hand up. You only put your hand up to get messages, because remember, it's your antenna, right? So when do you use that antenna? To receive, to do the scan and to receive the messages. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
And for the healing, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have your hand up. Just go ahead and work with the energy that you feel. You can pull it out, you can grab it out, you can just keep your hand there to send a light, however you want to do it. You can tone. I know some of you tone, or light language. You could use whatever you need to do. You can hum, you can say the mantras for the chakras. Whatever you are guided to, use your tools. And then when you are done, you're going to ground her energies. Okay, so let me know when you're done. Don't just sit down. And Radhika, let us know what you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm just feeling quite strong energy in my upper back. and like warm energy.
Okay, good.
And yeah, it's like releasing the tension. Yeah.
Great, beautiful. Yeah. If you're guided to go to just that area, that's all I want you to work on, the areas that you guys mentioned. All right, so Angela, please, whenever everybody else is done, I want all of you to circle her in a beautiful bubble of light. Okay, and you're going to, this is very important step. You're going to say, and so it is. Basically what that means is you're disconnecting yourself from her energy. Her energy is hers, yours is your own.
Okay, I did myself. I did quietly. You want me to say it out loud also?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And then just make sure that she's circled and you step away. Just take one step back.
I did.
And so it is.
Mhm.
And so what you want to do is you do want to make sure that she's grounded before you end the process, right? Make sure that she's grounded. And how do we do that? The same way that we did your grounding, right? We want to make sure to ground her. So basically we're doing the same thing. Remember how we were doing this to ourselves, right? So now we're just going like this to ground her. Okay. So basically like this, because we want to pat her, the energy that came through that we cleared, and the energy, the divine energy that came through, we just want to make sure and pat it through the hara line and the chakras. And then when we get to her hips, we want to pull it down to her feet and then encircle her in a light. And then, you know, and so it is, close off and take a step back. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There's
Yes.
a couple of steps to do that because you don't want to leave somebody ungrounded. That will be, it might cause a healing crisis. I don't know what it could cause. It's just going to make them feel dizzy, maybe give them a headache. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to do that because you have to finish what you started.
It's not working, so if you can hear me, I don't know why I can't hear you.
Oh, can you not hear us? Angela? All right, I'm going to put you on mute, Angela. So basically at the end, we are making sure they're grounded. So basically all you need to do is making sure that the energy is the divine light is being pulled through each chakra and aligning their chakra and hara line. Okay. And you know, you could maybe envision it. You don't have to say anything. You just envision that everything is aligning. The hara line and the chakras are aligning. And then just pull it down to the bottom, all the way to their feet and into the ground. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Easy, right? So.
And then you say, so it is, and then
And
step
so
back.
it is, and just, you know, dismerge yourself, disconnect from them. Because what happens is when you're working with somebody on this level, you end up merging your energies. Okay. And you don't want to hold on to that. You don't want to take that home with you. So if you do go home and you're like, oh, my back hurts, my neck hurts, maybe you picked up something from your client. Right? So that's why it's important. So I'm just teaching you an easy way to disconnect. Okay. And so it takes practice to do that. It's a very important step. Okay. And then we can ask Radhika, how do you feel? What has shifted for you? What came up for you in terms of emotions or thoughts or feelings or memories? Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so thank you for the healing. And I felt like a release of energy in this upper back area, and
does she not look straighter? Does she not look taller?
Yeah.
Like she looks like her
Opened up.
shoulders are more open, like this heart opened up.
I feel I could more be relaxed, but I'm not aware of any specific emotions. It was like, oh, okay, I can relax. It's it's nice, you know.
Yeah, like I think your body, your soul, and your spirit feel like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I feel like my body wants to relax, but I don't allow it to relax. Yeah, because I'm also quite often in my mind and thinking. So it doesn't help to this.
Right. Okay. So good. Good. We released some tension, a lot of tension.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how precise your reading was. Like you don't know me, and you said quite right things. So.
I think everybody did really good. I think everybody tuned into you very well. You know, and it's a matter of practice. So I want you guys to get together and practice with each other as much as you can. Okay. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Oh, I guess Angela's trying to join in. Sorry, Angela. Hey, Angela. Angela?
She just sent me a message saying she can't get back in.
I know. I just admitted
Okay.
her. I didn't see that she was trying to get back in, but I think she's here now, and she's here twice. So I don't want to miss it. Please don't shut me out. Let me in. All right, cool. So, all right, I have to get going a little bit earlier today. My daughter has a gig. She's in a band. She's a lead singer, and so
cool.
yeah. So we have to get to that. But I want to make sure that are there any questions? I do want you to practice exactly what we just did. Right? You saw the process, but next time we're getting into the energy field. Okay, we're going to learn about the energy field and how you could tap into which energy field we're going to be tapping into and working from that energy field. So we're getting deeper and deeper, and you guys are doing awesome. You guys are doing amazing. So, definitely, Linda, we wish you well on your interview.
And, yeah, we do.
Finding that
go for it
and that place to live. So we wish you well for that. Hopefully next time we come back and join back next week, you'll have some good news for us. And do you find out right away, Linda?
Oh yeah, probably. It's not really, it's not that big thing. It's not a big deal. I'm not even certain I want this particular job. So.
All right, well.
And it's only temporary. It's don't everyone hold, it's not that special. So don't worry about it.
All right, well, let's see. Okay, so anybody have any questions?
Yeah, what did I miss? You said go ahead and practice what you just did or what you just did. So
yes. So just practice. And you guys can, if your partner wants a healing, you can do a healing. Now, you are already progressed far enough to do a healing. So make sure to ask them, can I do a scan and a healing?
Okay.
Okay.
And so what is the best way? Like, isn't it better first try to scan with my hands and then check with the Pendulum, like to be
So
sure.
do the pendulum.
Yeah.
So here's the process, right? So you want to go through invoking a prayer, inviting the guides, grounding your energies, right? You want to go through all that stuff, setting that unbending intention. You go through that, right? And then you check with the pendulum. And then you work with your hands, okay? And the only reason I'm telling you to check with your hands to see how it feels. You're not always going to do that step. Once you know what the pendulum says, you're not going to go back with your hands and say, okay, I'm just going to verify that you told me what was right. I just want you to feel the energy of the chakras that you found with the pendulum that were constricted, okay, that were blocked. Okay, we're just seeing, okay, what does that feel like, right? And because the energy comes in through you, through the crown, to the heart, in through your hands. So if that is happening and you're connected with their energies, then you should start sensing something. And you might just have a knowing, and that's okay too. Okay? But what that's going to do is now you're going to start when you start using your hand, basically you're saying, hand, well, you're basically asking the body, where do you want me to go first? Where do you want me to start? I'm just having you start at the first chakra because it's easier. Like, it's just easy to start from the bottom and say, okay, let me see if there's something that I feel off here. I'm just going to do some healing here. Send some light, or, ooh, I feel this energy. I just feel like I need to, turn the knob or pull it out or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Your hand will do all the work. If you get into the right brain, let your hands do the work. You don't need to do anything. Allow your hands to just do it. If it wants to just start going like this, okay, whatever. Allow it to clear the energy. If it just wants to sit there and be on that area of the body, let it. That's okay too. And just send light and know that you're clearing. Okay? So however you decide to do it, but the more you practice, the more you're going to see what you need to, how your hand wants to work with the other person's body. Okay? How it wants to clear the energies, how it wants to tune into the body. So that's what you're learning. You're learning to tune into their body. And you're learning to clear the body of the blockages. But you got to get into your right brain. If you're very left brain and you're going to be very logical about it, you have to shift. And this is how you do it. You say, okay, I'm getting into my right brain. I am shifting the frequencies. The wavelength needs to change. And you can, just like we bring our energy field in, you can do that with your brain too. I'm shifting into my right brain. And just see that happening. And then start working from there. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. All right.
I'd just like to quickly share with everybody, I'm moving house next Wednesday, finally. Yay. So if I don't make it on, I apologise, but I will see you the week from that. But I will desperately try, and even if I have to have you on a set of headphones somewhere in a corner, I'll try.
That's fine. Good luck with that. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Deepa, did Radhika say she was feeling better? Did she share anything that I because I didn't get to hear how she was feeling after we were finished?
She does.
Yeah. I said that I felt quite a big release of energy. Like I feel more relaxed. Like I can finally be relaxed. So I'm not so constricted, and it was quite nice to feel the energy. Like, yeah, like my body felt it needs the energy.
Oh. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was nice. Thank you.
All right, guys. So work on each other, connect with each other, and You know, if you can get on the phone or WhatsApp, or if any of you have Zoom and you can use that to connect with each other, it's always nice to be like this, you know, if you can. And Gina, before you move, maybe if you want to connect with somebody this weekend really quickly or whatever, you know, then do that. But yeah, all right, awesome. If you guys have any questions, put it on Facebook. If it's personal, you can email me. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week, okay?
Thank you. Have a good gig.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a nice
Bye,
time.
everyone. Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.
Bye.